Welcome back to our class. So today we're talking about the tort of negligence. Tort as in T-O-R-T, right? So understanding negligence and the ingredients to succeed in a claim on negligence. The tort of negligence consists of any actions that creates an unreasonable risk of harm to another person, right? So a lot of the thought of negligence includes intents. But what if a person does not act intentionally and still injures someone else? Can they still be liable? So you're not intentionally injuring someone else, right? Can you still be liable for injuring that person? The answer is yes. And that is where negligence comes into play. So you did not intend to hurt him, but if you had been careful, you wouldn't have hurt him. So that's the issue of negligence. So the difference in general negligence and tort law negligence is the failure to use a standard of reasonable care. So you mustn't be careless. If your carelessness leads to the injury of another person, you'll be liable under what we call the tort of negligence. And of course, that also extends to medical negligence, situation where a medical doctor who is expected to take appropriate care in treating his clients does not take that care, and that leads to injury in the client. Maybe he operated. So for example, you see situations where doctors forget swabs, even needles in the stomach of their patients after a surgery. You know, that can lead to liability in negligence if it is properly proven. Now, before you can succeed in an action for, so when someone is negligent and that negligence leads to an injury, right? See, for example, someone takes a banana peel, and throws it on the ground, and you step on it and you slip and fall. Can that be negligent? Can that be negligence? All right. Can you bring an action against that person? So these are issues around the tort of negligence. Now, in order to succeed in an action for negligence, there are elements, right? So one of it is the existence of a legal duty. And so the person that is negligent here must have an existing legal duty to be careful in coordinating himself around you. So there must be an existing legal duty. Then the next is the breach of that duty. Generally, we all have legal duties towards everybody around us. The duty to be careful, the duty to ensure that our actions do not hurt other people. So if we breach that duty, then one of the ingredients for the tort of negligence has been triggered. Then the next is that the breach was proximate and an actual cause of the injury. So the breach of that duty ultimately led to the injury. And I will give you some real life examples. Then after that injury, there was damage caused, right? So for example, a driver owes a duty to a pedestrian to use reasonable care and not hit them. So if a driver is driving, he has a duty to ensure that he drives carefully and not hit people on the road. So if he hits people on the road, the first presumption is that he was negligent, because it is expected that he should have been careful in driving so he doesn't hit pedestrians, right? So when he hits the pedestrian, he has breached that duty. And of course, when you hit a pedestrian, an injury occurs, and that hitting is a proximate cause of that injury. So you see how it's relatable. So that's basically what the law of negligence, or the tort of negligence, entails. Everybody owes the person next to them a duty of care, and when that duty is breached, and the breach of that duty causes an injury, then the person who breached that duty will be liable under the tort of negligence. And what you can claim is damages. The person will pay you for reparation of the injuries and for the inconveniences and all sorts. So it's good you know this, so that when next someone breaches that duty, you know what to do. All right, so just drop your comments if this